Hi, my name is Israel Bagashaw. I'm a senior application scientist here at LI-COR, and today in this video I wanted to show you how to do the pump replacement for the LI-7800 series trace gas analyzers. So this will apply both for the LI-7810 and the LI-7815. The pump in these analyzers can last up to a year or more. In case it fails or overuse, you need to order the 9978-213 pump replacement kit. Again, that's 9978-213. And you'll need a couple of screwdrivers, Phillips head, pliers, and cutter. Before starting the replacement process, you want to make sure this instrument is powered down, completely shut down, and cooled off. You can do a 3-press button on the power button to shut it down. The first step is to get your replacement part. It comes with instructions and the replacement pump. This is the replacement pump. You've got the double-headed pump and the electrical connectors. We're going to start by removing this cover, this circuit board cover, so that we can unplug the pump from the circuit board. So to remove this cover, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 screws that we need to loosen up. And when you remove this, you want to be careful. There is a Wi-Fi antenna attached to this cover. So if you're careful, you can unplug the pump without disconnecting the Wi-Fi antenna. But if you disconnect, it's okay. You can reconnect it later after the replacement is done. So once all the 4 screws are removed, we're just going to gently lift this up and rotate it around so we can see the connection, the pump connection here. So the Wi-Fi antenna is right here. Right now I have it still connected. So to remove this pump connector, you have to press on the little tab below the connector and release. So now the pump is electrically disconnected. So we'll leave the cover like this for now, and then we need to go to remove the 4 screws that hold the pump in place. The pump is attached to this plate, this metal plate here, the pump mount, and that mount is attached to the base plate. So this mount is attached with these 4 screws. So we're going to start with this one, which is the rather difficult one to get to. So you can see it's right here in this corner between the fitting here and this black cable that you see. So you might want to use a long screwdriver so you can easily get to it. So just loosen that screw first. And this is the second one over here. And then these 2. Some of these may be a little bit tight, so there might be some struggle there, but proceed gently. And try not to bang against the tubing or the fittings to avoid any damage and leaks. Once you have all the 4 screws on the pump mounting plate loose, completely loose, we're going to try and lift the pump. You want to probably try to get these tubes out of your way towards the instrument, and then lift the pump and all the let's see if we can do this. Need to move this out of the way as well. It's going to be a little bit tight, so just be patient and go through it. Try not to lose the screws. Once you have it sort of out and sitting here, you can remove the screws. So we don't lose them. We will use these to mount the new pump back in place. Okay, now that we have the pump out of the box, so we have two connections, this connection in here and back here. And we're going to cut on the lower side to free the pump completely. So we're going to cut right after this hose barb on this connection and the other connection on the other side of the pump here. So we'll try to cut as straight as possible and not too far from the hose barb so we don't run out of tubing. There, and then over here again, try to cut straight and close to the hose barb. So now the pump is completely free of the instrument with the mounting plate, so we can remove the pump. Notice how the pump is oriented. So we're going to go ahead and remove these two screws so we can release the pump and put in the new pump on the same mounting plate. Once you have the new pump installed on the mounting plate, the next step is to go ahead and connect the tubing. So we cut two tubing pieces earlier, so we should have two open connections. This one over here and this one over here. This here. So this piece of tubing is going to connect to this side of the pump, and this one coming from this T is going to go to the other side of the pump. So this to this connection here. And then the pump is going to slide under these two bevel line tubings. So we'll start by connecting this and then move on to the next connection. So this is going to slide on the hose barb, and it might require a little bit of push, but it should fit snug all the way. So slowly work your way through. Once you have the first piece all the way in, then we'll move on to the second piece. Which we'll connect here, it might be helpful to spread the bevel line a little bit using needle nose pliers or something along those lines, so that the push down this hose barb can go a little bit easier. So once the tubing is connected, we need to slide the pump under these two bevel line tubings and mount it in the base plate. But before we slide it in, let's put the screws in that we're gonna use to attach to the base plate. And you want to be careful when you slide so the screws don't fall. Otherwise, we'll have to rotate the instrument and get the screws out. So let's try to do this. So you'll have to tilt the pump a little bit so these tubings will go over. Then you want to get this T fitting right over the pump here. And then make sure you're not pushing down on this display cable, the ribbon cable here. And the plate should rest nicely where the mounting holes are. This colorful cable bundle is the pump power and control cable. So we'll snug that around and plug in on this connector right here. It shouldn't fit on any of the other connectors, so it's right there in the middle. It should click in place. And now we have our 4 screws in place. The pump is connected. We can go ahead and tighten down the mounting screws. Again, I would start with the most difficult one to reach and then work our way out. Once all the screws on the base on the mounting plate are tight, we are ready to close up and check that the instrument is working okay. So let's just make sure. Okay, so make sure there are no tubing or cable that's caught in the way or pinched. Everything looks fine. All right, so go ahead and reinstall the electric circuit board cover, making sure the Wi-Fi antenna is still attached. Once you have the cover, we're ready to go ahead and turn the instrument on, wait for it to warm up, and make sure it's operating. The pump is operating, it's able to maintain pressure control in the cavity and in the phase control loop. So we'll turn it on, and the pump will not turn on until the instrument has warmed up to close to its operating temperature, so we'll wait. Once you've replaced the pump, go ahead and turn the instrument on, let it run for half an hour to an hour or so. Once it's warmed up to the operating temperature, you'll hear the pump kick on and start running. If you've done the replacement correctly, the instrument should start up and go through its initial process and start measuring. But just to confirm, go to the settings page on the instrument software once you've connected and look at the diagnostic indicators here. Make sure everything is green. Also make sure the cavity pressure is stable. It should roughly be around 40 kilopascals. Make sure phase pressure is also stable. If everything looks good, then we've done the job correctly. We've replaced the pump and there's no issues there, so we can go ahead and reset the pump hours. So this should be done so that you know how many hours you have on the new pump. So go ahead and click reset. It will ask you for confirmation, yes, and now from now on it will start counting up from 0.